Travel next summer with Bishop Mitchell Rosansky and Catholic Communications to Fatima, Portugal to mark the centennial of the Blessed Mother's apparitions. Departing July 17th, this 10-day pilgrimage will visit 3 major European Catholic heritage sites, beginning at Fatima, where you will walk in the footsteps of the 3 young children to whom Mary appeared a century ago. Witness firsthand the great faith of the Portuguese people and the beauty of the land. See how Mary's message still inspires. From there, we'll head to Santiago de Compostela, Spain, where the remains of St. James are buried. Mass will be celebrated in the magnificent cathedral, taking in the sights and sounds of beautiful northern Spain. Our journey will conclude in Lourdes, France, Europe's other great Marian shrine, where the faith has been celebrated for over 150 years. Each day, Bishop Rosansky, assisted by Father Gary Daly, will offer Mass. For more information on this trip, log on to iobserve.org or call 413-452-0670 for a brochure. Renew your faith in 2017. Join Bishop Rosansky and Father Daly for this great spiritual opportunity. Don't miss out.
Coming up on this edition of Reel to Reel.
Respect to Life Month is upon us. I'm Carolee McGrath. I'll tell you how people are working to protect the most vulnerable among us.
I'm Peggy Weber, and I'll be bringing you the story of how a youth group here in Shelburne Falls inspires and helps.
All this and more coming your way on this edition of Reel to Reel from Our Lady of the Cross Parish in Holyoke. Hello and welcome to Reel today from Our Lady of the Cross Parish in Holyoke. It was 5 years ago that the former Mater Dolorosa and Holy Cross parishes merged together as one faith community. Both had a long history in Holyoke, which included many wonderful traditions passed down over the generations. And as Steve Kiltonick now tells us, although some parishioners initially felt some apprehensions, on this 5th year anniversary, there is much to be thankful for.
When Mater Dolorosa and Holy Cross parishes were first established, ethnic parishes were not the exception, but the norm. Mater Dolorosa was founded in 1896 primarily for the Polish community. Across town in the Highlands section of Holyoke, Holy Cross was founded in 1905 for the city's Irish. Each parish has a long history in the Paper City, with many traditions and customs brought over during the Great Immigration waves. But in 2011, as a result of the pastoral planning process, along with structural damage to the church, Mater Dolorosa closed. Both parishes merged, and a new parish, Our Lady of the Cross, was established with the conventual Franciscan friars as administrators. The first Mass was held on July 3, 2011 at Holy Cross, which was chosen as the new worship site. In the immediate years after the merger, Father Albert Scheer admits it was an uneasy period for both parishes, especially after Mater Dolorosa appealed the closing to the Vatican.
In the beginning, it was a little shaky at first because there was a lot of tension, sadness, hurt feelings initially. So we had some people that left from Holy Cross. Some people from Mater Dolorosa never even came here to give it a try. So for the first couple of years, it was difficult.
Father Scheer noticed a turnaround when the annual Mater Dolorosa Fall Festival was revived.
We decided to bring back the Polish food, and I put out an appeal for people to come together to make pierogies. We had like 50 people down there, Holy Cross people, Mater Dolorosa people working together, and I thought that was a good indication that things were going to get better.
On September 18th, an anniversary Mass was held in celebration of the parish's 5th birthday. Springfield Bishop Mitchell Rosansky concelebrated the Mass with Father Scheer, Father Andrzej Brzezinski, and Father Stanley Sobiek. Each parish brought its own traditions to Our Lady of the Cross. Holy Cross was known for its adult faith formation programs, especially the Alpha and Life in the Spirit seminars and adoration. Mater Dolorosa was dedicated to its parochial school, youth faith formation, and the many social activities held in the St. John Paul II Social Center. Another event that was continued was the annual Blessing of the Pets, which many parishioners look forward to. Norma and John Raftery were longtime members of Holy Cross. John's parents emigrated to America in the 1930s from Galway and Mayo in Ireland. John, who grew up 6 blocks from the church, has been a member of Holy Cross over 70 years. He recalled the children's mass he attended with his parents.
Some of the masses, it was standing room only. We had novenas during the week, and again, the church would just be packed. We had an active youth group in this parish. We put on musicals and shows, and we had Holy Cross Camp was in this parish, and it was run by the parish.
Coming in this church, I was so impressed with the edifice, I guess you'd call it. It was just so beautiful, and I felt very comfortable all the while. And did eventually join the choir and enjoyed that work very much.
Norma said prior to the merge, there was a lot of uncertainty.
There was a lot of talk about it's going to be a Polish parish. People were frightened about it. The first thing Father warned us of is that you might not have your pew when you come into church on a Sunday. Somebody else is there.
Shala and Romeo Martin belonged to Mater Della Rosa for 25 years.
What comes to mind is a nice Polish church. Nice and cozy, much smaller than this church. It was cozy, we had a lot of statues. I'm 100% Polish, so we believe in statues.
Because I like the traditions at Mater Della Rosa, and I was in the choir for about 25 years, and we sang a lot of Polish songs mixed in with the English hymns, and it just made you feel at home, you know. It was a good feeling.
It was at an Alpha Group meeting that the Rafteries and Martins first met. Shala is the cook for the Franciscans. She also runs the kitchen during the Fall Festival, where thousands of gołąbkis and pierogies are made for the hungry crowds.
John and Norma are real lovely people. I always call them up to volunteer for something. I got them making pierogi, running the pasta machine.
Here I was, an Irish guy who walked into the Polish kitchen, and I couldn't tell you a pierogi from a gołąbki, and you know, I was welcomed. It was strange. I really didn't know what I was doing, but got along with all the people I worked with down there, and there was no hostility shown toward either one of us.
So what do you, so would you say it's been positive since the move?
Very positive, very
It's a
positive.
slow start, but
It was a very slow start, but it's been 5 years, and we just love each other.
Yeah.
Every one of these,
we're blending much better
every
now,
one of these
really, yeah.
people are beautiful, beautiful
nice,
people.
yeah.
Since merging, the 9 o'clock Polish Mass was added. More Polish hymns and songs have been incorporated into holiday masses and special events like the Anniversary Mass. Father Albert says that some new ministries have risen, such as a Take and Eat program where meals are provided for the needy. One constant at the parish is the offering of Catholic education. Mater Della Rosa's K-8 school remains a big part of the parish life.
We have an excellent, dedicated faculty. Many have been here for 20, 30 years, but we also have a mixture of younger, newer teachers as well. I think it just adds so much vitality to a parish.
Besides the Mass, there have been numerous events held during this anniversary year. One of the highlights was in June when the St. Maximilian Kolbe relic made a 3-day stop. And to help heal old wounds, some Mater Della Rosa artifacts may be moved this year.
We are looking at possibly bringing maybe the Pieta that's over Mater Della Rosa Church, which certainly would fit in with Our Lady of the Cross, the Sorrowful Mother, and perhaps maybe in 1 or 2 other statues.
For 3 months this summer, former Mater Della Rosa student Sarah Mealy was hard at work creating 2 original murals at the St. John Paul II Center. Father Albert asked Sarah, a UMass Dartmouth graduate with a degree in illustration, to create something that would help people feel good about the merge. Sarah came up with the idea of a stained glass window design depicting both church exteriors.
I tried to keep the setup and the background sort of the same to show the unity of both of them. But, you know, the styles of the churches are very, very different. And I tried to keep it, I mean, I can't do any less than colorful because I do like colorful work.
The finished murals were unveiled at the Anniversary Mass luncheon.
I've always kind of thought about how cool it would be to have something in the building that I've done. I went here for so long and everyone knew that I was the artist, so I think they're going to be a little surprised.
Father Scheer remains upbeat about the future.
We still have some work to go through, but I think we kind of turned the corner. It's been 5 years, but I also realize that it's going to take, time for some individuals, but overall I think we've grown a great deal together as Our Lady of the Cross.
For Reel to Reel, I'm Steve Kiltonic.
Congratulations to all here at Our Lady of the Cross who have worked so hard to join together as one community of faith. And also best wishes to the Franciscan friars who staff this parish, as this week we mark the Feast of St. Francis. Our Lady of the Cross will also be the site for a Year of Mercy Holyoke Deanery event, as all the parishes in this Holyoke Deanery come together in the middle of this month for a 3-day mission. Joining me now is Father Robert Gentile, pastor of Blessed Sacrament Parish in Holyoke, to tell us more. Thanks for being with us today, Father Gentile.
Thank you, Sharon, for having me.
So as I just said, parishes in this deanery are planning a mission that is set to start October 17th, we are told. Now, what is going to be going on during these days?
On these 3 days, this mission is going to be a unique mission. We're going to have 3 separate speakers, Monsignor David Joyce, Father Terry Devino, and Susan Conroy, who's going to come in and speak to us of God's infinite love and His mercy through their personal experience as they have witnessed it and have seen firsthand.
Wonderful. Now, I know we all have so much going on this time of year, but why do you think it might be good for folks to take time out to take part in this event?
This mission is going to be a unique opportunity for a lot of people. We've sent out nearly 2,500 postcards to people throughout the Holyoke, South Hadley, Granby area, Catholic and non-Catholic alike, to demonstrate that God has touched each and every one of our lives and that we're really not alone in our beliefs. It's also going to be an opportunity where it's going to be a little bit different than a traditional mission that we're more accustomed to having in our parishes. The doors are going to open around 6:30 in the evening. As you walk into the church, there's going to be a video montage playing in the sanctuary. We're going to have several kids' choirs playing in the background. It's going to be an opportunity to really see church in a very different way. And for those who may have childcare needs, we're going to provide for childcare, and there's also those who have an issue with the transportation. We'll make rides available as well. So there's really no excuse for somebody not to be able to come out. It's going to be an incredible experience at church, and I encourage everybody to come out on the 17th, 18th, and 19th of October for Mercy in Action, the Holyoke Greater Deanery's mission.
All right, sounds like it will be an inspiring and enriching time. Thanks so much, Father Gentile, and best of luck to you.
Thank you very much, Sharon, for having me.
And we have all the details for the October 17th through the 19th mission, which will take place right here at Our Lady of the Cross on our website at iobserve.org. And still to come on Reel to Reel, some Franklin County teens team up to help end hunger and poverty. This and more are still to come on this edition of Reel to Reel.
The Chalice of Salvation, your weekly spiritual connection. I'm Passionist Brother Terrence Gale and your Chalice host, inviting you to take time out of your busy days and join us Sunday morning at 10. We welcome Father William Lenny, pastor of St. Jerome's Parish in Holyoke, as our Mass presider, and celebrate the 27th Sunday in Ordinary Time. The Chalice of Salvation, your spiritual connection, Sunday morning at 10, right here on 22 News.
Travel next summer with Bishop Mitchell Rosansky and Catholic Communications to Fatima, Portugal, to mark the centennial of the Blessed Mother's apparitions. Departing July 17th, this 10-day pilgrimage will visit 3 major European Catholic heritage sites, beginning at Fatima, where you will walk in the footsteps of the 3 young children to whom Mary appeared a century ago. Witness firsthand the great faith of the Portuguese people and the beauty of the land. See how Mary's message still inspires. From there, we'll head to Santiago de Compostela, Spain, where the remains of St. James are buried. Mass will be celebrated in the magnificent cathedral, taking in the sights and sounds of beautiful northern Spain. Our journey will conclude in Lourdes, France, Europe's other great Marian shrine, where the faith has been celebrated for over 150 years. Each day, Bishop Rosansky, assisted by Father Gary Daly, will offer Mass. For more information on this trip, log on to iobserve.org or call 413-452-0670 for a brochure. Renew your faith in 2017. Join Bishop Rosansky and Father Daly for this great spiritual opportunity. Don't miss out.
You are watching Reel to Reel, your window on the world around you. Here again is your Reel to Reel host, Sharon Roulier.
Well, as we begin this beautiful month of October, we also mark Respect Life Month, a time to highlight the teaching of the Church, which seeks to protect life in all of its stages, from the unborn to the sick and dying. Carolee McGrath now explores the wide range of issues covering Respect Life Month, from the well-known defense of the unborn through the 40 Days for Life campaign to the moving story of a young father who was given just a few months to live. That was several years ago. He is now speaking out against doctor-prescribed suicide.
J.J. Hansen is no doubt an American hero. The combat veteran rose to the rank of officer in the United States Marine Corps, serving in Iraq. But at the pro-life Mother's Day dinner last spring, sponsored by the Pioneer Valley, Massachusetts Citizens for Life, Hansen spoke of another battle, the fight for his life.
2 years ago, I was working on a job down in Florida. I had moved down there to work in a private company, and while I was at a meeting, I had what's called a grand mal seizure.
Hansen and his wife had a young son. They were just settling into a happy family life when they got the devastating diagnosis: brain cancer.
Not only was it cancer, they expected that it was going to be one of the worst types of brain cancer, grade 4 glioblastoma multiforme, which is considered a fairly terminal form of brain cancer. Approximately 75% of the people who are diagnosed with GBM will die within 1 year.
Hansen was told he had just a few months to live, but then he went for 2 more opinions and ended up at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center in New York City, where doctors removed 3 tumors. More than 2 years later, the 35-year-old describes himself as cancer clear. Hansen is now the president of the Patients' Rights Action Fund. The group's mission is to stop efforts to legalize assisted suicide. Hansen doesn't dismiss the agony patients endure and the hopelessness they feel because he went through it himself. He says he suffered from severe depression during his treatment.
I was in my month 5 where I was going through the same experience of having my hope taken away from me, experiencing this hopelessness that I can't fight. And I learned about a young woman named Brittany Menard, who had the exact same type of cancer, who had a similar prognosis, and she became an advocate and a spokesperson for this issue of assisted suicide. And I started to read the material that was coming out, and what was being said, the narrative, not by her, but what was being reported was that this disease known as GBM was incurable. There's nothing you can do. And I know now very well that it is. You can fight it. I've met people that have lived 20 years with this disease.
In 2012, Massachusetts voters rejected a ballot initiative which would have legalized physician-assisted suicide, but the issue continues to be reintroduced by proponents in Massachusetts and across the country. During October, which is Respect Life Month, the U.S. bishops call on all Catholics to defend life in all stages, including the terminally ill.
The proponents will say this is courageous, this is dignity. Well, I can tell you this, one of the reports that was released by the state of Oregon in 2011 showed that there were 28 painful deaths with the suicide drugs that were given to them. 6 cases where they actually regained consciousness. And you're telling me that that is dignity? But somehow if you choose not to go that route, you're undignified? It's a complete misconception of the word.
The 40 Days for Life campaign also coincides with Respect Life Month. It runs from the end of September until November 6th. Now, the goal here is to save the lives of babies by reaching out in love and charity to their moms and dads.
Communion of saints, forgive us our sins, the resurrection of the body.
This will be the 17th 40 Days for Life held locally. In that time, organizers say at least 21 babies have been spared from abortion that they know of. But close to 12,000 babies have been saved since the beginning of the international campaign 9 years ago.
So it makes a difference?
Oh, it absolutely makes a difference. And that's what we hear from these women. Even if we hear from them or a relative, like a grandparent of the child, we've had grandparents stop by and open the car door and say, you know, if you hadn't been here, I wouldn't have my beautiful granddaughter or grandson.
In fact, during the 40 Days kickoff, 2 people approached those praying looking for help for a friend considering abortion.
They have to know that they're loved. And so you have to have a smile on your face. It's not a happy event. You know, the decision that's being made is very difficult, and they feel like they have no choice. Every woman I've ever spoken to who chose abortion said, I had it because I felt I had no choice. But you still have to be very welcoming and very kind and gentle and let them know that they're loved. We're not trying to condemn anybody.
So with prayers and fasting, Catholics throughout the United States are called to be a witness for life during October and throughout the year. Reporting for Reel to Reel, I'm Carolee McGrath.
And if you would like more information on the 40 Days for Life, we have a link on our website at iobserve.org. October is also the month dedicated to the Rosary. The Dominican nuns of West Springfield cordially invite all to take part in their annual Rosary Sunday devotions tomorrow, October 2nd at 1 p.m. This will include the blessing and distribution of roses, recitation of the Rosary, and benediction of the Blessed Sacrament. The monastery is located at 1430 Riverdale Street in West Springfield. Turning now to some Franklin County teens who are making a difference in the world with cows, goats, and chickens. It's all part of a parish effort to raise funds for Heifer International. Peggy Weber made the trip to Shelburne Falls and tells us now how these teens not only supported this program, but have lifted spirits as well.
The new youth group at St. Joseph Parish here in Shelburne Falls is not a group that was started by the parish to get kids involved. Rather, the group was the initiative of the young people themselves. They were not looking for service hours for confirmation. They just wanted to help others. Crystal Finn is one of those teens.
I am one of the people that kind of sort of created it. We were sitting down to donate to Heifer like we do every year, and I said, why don't we do a huge thing and we donate a lot of money and that's what brought up the whole ARC situation.
Donating money to Heifer International has been a project for the religious education students at St. Joseph's for the past decade. Heifer is a charitable group that works with communities to end world hunger and poverty and to care for the earth. Crystal and some of the other students in the confirmation class suggested they try to raise $5,000 to buy the ARC package. That lofty goal would help purchase 2 water buffaloes, 2 cows, 2 sheep, 2 goats, bees, chicks, rabbits, and more. Her friend, James Harrison, was on board with the idea.
We decided, that's great. It's a Catholic-based story because it's the Ark from the story of Noah. And so we were like, why can't we raise the money to do this? I'm certain we could. And so we got our friends together and we started to raise the money. And we decided to actually turn a group out of it because that would gain more support.
The group to date has raised almost $4,000. On a sunny August morning, they were staffing the bake sale at the parish's annual tag sale. They've had raffles and other fundraisers and are excited to be close to their goal. However, much more has come from this effort than just raising funds to help the poor through an international organization. They decided to help their local community as well. They set up a food pantry for the parish. They also have worked with the recently formed Knights of Columbus Council to work with the parish outreach ministry. Some have signed up to be Eucharistic ministers or electors. Father Tony Cullen, pastor, said he was delighted when the young people approached him about starting a youth group.
I was thrilled, because as you appreciate, the youth of any parish are the mainstay of the parish, and the up-and-coming parishioners. And the enthusiasm, oh my gosh, even now, they're so enthusiastic about everything. And you know, with youth, they're always so full of energy, full of fresh ideas, and it's been a great impact on the parish because there hasn't really been a youth group before, and all of a sudden the older members are looking saying, this is great. And not only do they see it, but they're supporting them.
And there was lots of support at the parish's annual tag sale, where the young people sold baked goods to raise funds.
Covering the inspiring story of this youth group in Shelburne Falls has been a lot of fun, but it also causes me to go off my diet and do a little extra shopping.
The group also has had raffles and worked at parish events to achieve their goal. Juanita Bousquet, Director of Religious Education, said their enthusiasm is inspiring.
It was amazing to see how excited they were. And we actually took them to the Heifer farm so that they could see how different families live in different countries and how they handle and work the farm. They loved the trip. It was an awesome day for them.
Barbara Yeager, leader of the youth group, said she has known most of the members of the youth group since their first communion class. She praised their ambitious undertaking.
There's such a special group of committed kids in our parish, and so nothing that they do surprises me at all.
And there is an added benefit to the youth group beyond helping those in need.
It gives me a lot of hope, and it does for our entire parish. We're coming from a very elderly parish. To see our youth so involved gives all of us hope, and I can tell you that we've had so many positive comments in seeing our youth involved in our parish.
The teens are motivated and grateful for the support from their parish, but they also love their parish. James and Crystal spoke highly of St. Joseph's.
Actually, it means quite a bit because I've designated a large portion of my life and most of my Sundays and many other days to helping out the parish, and parish is like a second family to me.
Ever since I was little, I've been part of this parish, and to know that I can do something to give back to the community that they've given so much, and I've been my family's really big into the parish and the community and everything else. So to know that half of them have taught me how to live, basically, and to know that I can give back to them means a lot to me. I've basically grown up in this church, and to know that everyone cares about me and everyone knows me, it's really nice to know that someone loves you.
With hard work, enthusiasm, and yes, lots of love, the youth group of St. Joseph Parish truly inspires and helps. For Reel to Reel, I'm Peggy Weber.
Congratulations to these teens for taking on such a big project and making such a difference. And Peggy tells us that the spirit of St. Joseph's Parish is wonderful and that they have a pretty great tag sale as well. For this week, that's Reel to Reel, and congratulations to all here at Our Lady of the Cross on your 5th year anniversary, and thanks for hosting our visit today. Remember to keep up with all of the latest news on the Catholic Church, both here in the Diocese of Springfield and around the world. Check out our news and information website at iobserve.org. Also, you can friend us on Facebook at Catholic Communications. And just a quick reminder, this weekend and next, parishes will be taking up a special collection for the Catholic Mirror to help defray the cost providing this valuable magazine in your home 6 times a year. Help your parish by making your donation. It's just $10 and it pays for your subscription and that of someone else who is unable to make a donation. And if you don't receive the Mirror, call our viewer phone line at 413-732-3175 and ask to be added. It's free. That's 413-732-3175. And a programming note for our viewers on WWLP TV 22, we will be off next week to make way for NBC's coverage of NASCAR. We will see you right back here in 2 weeks on Reel to Reel, your window on the world around you. Enjoy your week.
Reel to Reel is a production of the Catholic Communications Corporation, funded in part by the annual Catholic Appeal, and the support of you, our faithful viewers.